One time, me and my boyfriend were scrolling through my For You page on TikTok and came across this girl that I love. So we started going through her page. And I'm like, I love her so much, blah, 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 blah.
Welcome to the Coach Craig Kenneth Show. I am your host, Coach Craig Kenneth.
And I'm your co-host, Coach Victoria.
And today we're going to be looking at a video where we're going to be talking about sneaky things that people do in relationships. You know, I think people can do a lot of small, sneaky things in a relationship. But the question is, how much do those things really matter?
It really depends on the context of things and really the intent behind it, what's really going on. And you can see what is a big deal to one person could be not a big deal at all to another person. So it's important to communicate these things and really talk about what's going on, intent behind actions and choices.
I agree. You know, sometimes people may not tell you about a crush that they have or somebody they're attracted to, or omit little things here and there that maybe really aren't that important. Say, what if somebody says, you know, what do you think of this outfit? And you don't really like it, but you know they do. And you say, oh, I like it. Is that, you know, okay? Should you tell them the complete truth? Or is it okay to spare their feelings about something like that?
Right. And people can have their own assumptions about how somebody acts. So somebody might make a choice, and from one perspective, it might look very, very sneaky. From the other perspective, you know, other people might be cutting that person some slack, saying, okay, I can see why they made that choice given, you know, the circumstance or given these situations. So
we got a video that we want to take a look at, and we want your opinion. What do you think? Do you agree with this woman, or do you agree with the boyfriend? Do you think it's not a big deal?
all right, let's see.
All right.
One time, me and my boyfriend were scrolling through my For You page on TikTok and came across this girl that I love. So we started going through her page. And I'm like, I love her so much, blah, 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 blah. He doesn't really add to the conversation. He doesn't say anything. And then I remember days later, I go on my secret Instagram account to check, keep up to date with who he's following. It was Jaden Edwards, by the way. He followed Jaden on Instagram.
Okay. Let's pause it real quick.
Yeah.
First of all, why does she need to go on her secret Instagram to see who he's following?
I don't know, maybe to not accidentally follow somebody.
But yeah, I mean, that's just a little confusing. Why couldn't she just look at that from her regular account?
Yeah,
That's odd to me.
it is a bit strange.
All right, what else does she have to say?
And what was interesting to me was that they were looking at this woman together, you know, and she was sharing with him how much she appreciated her posts or was inspired by her, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
So he's already getting the idea, okay, you know, this is a person that my girlfriend is interested in.
Okay.
Days later. And then he tried to say, he had no idea who that was, and, he probably just came across her photos, organically, whatever. What a coincidence, right after I was talking about how much I loved her.
Pause it for a sec. I don't believe that part.
Yeah.
I think that what happened here is that he probably thought this Jaden woman was attractive, was like, oh, she's pretty, I want to follow her, and then got caught, and then he's denying it. So he's making it worse.
And he probably was afraid of her reaction too, because I don't know how she came out and asked him, but if she was like, why are you following this person? You know, and he might try to come up with something to make it easier for her to deal with or whatever it might be. I don't know why he couldn't have just said, hey, we were looking at her profile together and, you know, she seemed interesting to me, or,
Exactly.
you know, you thought she was very pretty and I agree.
I think that's, I agree. That's the way to go there, is just to be like, I don't know, you say you really liked her, so I thought I'd follow her and just see what she's about.
And for research purposes, I looked up who this person was, because if it was maybe something that was full of thirst traps, for lack of a better word, or very sexually forward images, then I could see there maybe being a boundary there of, you know, maybe we can appreciate these things together, but I would feel uncomfortable if you went on your own fruition to search her up or something like that. I could see how that would be different. And I can also see how this woman's appreciation of this other woman's Instagram account or TikTok account could be coming from the viewpoint of, I like her style, I like her makeup, versus for her boyfriend, it might be, oh, she, you know, looks good. Yeah, she's hot and I like her on my feed. So I could understand those differences. I didn't really
get to see her. You had it pulled up while I wasn't really
it didn't
but...
seem to me, from my opinion, like it was super sexually forward. It looked like it was more of a fashion girly pop kind of account
Okay.
that might appeal more to her. So I can understand that. But interesting that her reaction is already suspicion, thinking that his intention might be to lust after her. I'm seeing
Yeah.
some of the comments here are all about, he's lusting after this woman. I don't know. I think
there's a little bit more.
let's see.
I crashed out. I like really crashed out. So like, let me know if that was valid.
Okay.
So from what you saw, and if you want to read a couple of those comments here, because you looked pretty surprised by the comments.
I was. There was one that was an image of
A banana getting sliced up.
yeah. Yeah. And there's a lot of comments just kind of talking poorly about her boyfriend.
Yeah.
and-
What are some of these comments that have a lot of likes?
Let's see. We got one that says, but you had a secret account.
Okay. So someone's calling her out.
I could see that. I could see that.
Fair.
This other person said valid because what would a man have in common with this other person's account?
Jade Edwards.
Okay, another person said here valid because what would a man have in common with Jade Edwards or Jaden? We were trying to see if we could find the right account, and scrolling, we had discovered that it looked like there was a Jaden Edwards that had commented.
Yeah.
And she herself had said, "Why would a man be there? You are one of the most beautiful women I have seen. I'm so happy to read he's your ex-boyfriend." So there's a lot of women who are, sympathizing with her, empathizing with her.
I think, I mean, it seems like a mob.
Yeah.
It seems like an angry mob.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so at worst, he thought she was attractive and followed her because she was attractive. Is that really a big deal? Is that really something to get this angry about and act like you can't trust the opposite sex anymore? Like,
I think especially since she had shown him the account. She had said, "Hey, this
Yeah.
is a person that I love and like," and if I were him, I would be following it to see, okay, well, what kind of style does my girlfriend like? I know I'm not a man. Ben might think differently about this and might just be viewing it as somebody who's hot. I can understand not wanting your partner to lust after other people or to have certain boundaries around social media in your relationship. Completely valid. And it sounds like there's something about that bothering her. I would really encourage her to think about what exactly here is bothering her. It seems like at the end she's, asking the question, is this valid or not? So it sounds like maybe there's a part of her that's, thinking about these benefit of the doubts with him. Like maybe it's because, she showed him. I think if anything, the shadiness is around him denying that he knew what that account was.
Agreed.
Right. He may have forgotten. He may have been half listening or half paying attention when you had shown him who it was. But for him to see it again and follow it, he probably recognized her.
Or maybe she just came through the feed, and then when our phones are like listening to everything we say, so maybe it just popped up, and he's like, "Oh, I'll just follow it." And he saw her. He's like, "Oh yeah, my girlfriend likes her. She is pretty hot." I think that's probably the worst that happened here that he did.
Yeah.
But is it not just as bad that she has a secret account that she's spying on him and stalking like every little thing that he does? I mean, like, that's going to get exhausting.
Could certainly be something neurotic. It makes me also wonder if, she's discovered other sneaky things about other people in the past.
Sure.
With social media, it does give you a lot of information and it's public. Okay. So I know that she has this secret account. I blame her somewhat. A lot of us do it. That information is out there. And, many people would rather know beforehand than after that their partner is following things that might be indicative of a certain personality type or a certain mindset in relationship dating, that kind of world.
Yeah,
So.
I think I'd like to hear what you guys have to say. For me, it would be slightly annoying, and
Yeah.
you'd be like, maybe it was a little shady of them
Yeah.
to do. But you don't have to make such a big deal about it. I don't think if this is you're making this into a big problem, this relationship is going to be in a lot of trouble.
There's going to be, tough things that happen in the future. I think these conversations are important, not to minimize her feelings, but, to bring up, okay, well, what are our boundaries around social media?
Yeah.
If this were me and I were her in that situation, I would probably just say, okay, just be real with me.
Yeah.
You liked her account, and that's cool. I feel uncomfortable with it. Could you unfollow it? Or, that's fine. I'm a fan of hers too.
Yeah.
So
I don't unfollow her too. I'm uncomfortable with you following
I'm looking at her
too.
makeup. You're looking at something else.
No, I'm looking at her makeup. You're looking at something else.
All right, we'll both unfollow her. I'll just delete my Instagram.
And we'll both watch it from our Finsta. Seriously, that's what she's gonna do here.
Well, and that's what he might do too.
Exactly.
And that's kind of the tough thing is, and this goes also for like families as well, like parents and children. You can't control everything that somebody you love and care about is exposed to. You really can't. But what you can control is, expressing what makes you feel uncomfortable, and making those requests and relationships that would make you feel a little bit more comfortable. So that's what we can control. There's going to be hot women on social media. There's going to be hot women in real life. Thank God. No, just kidding. Just kidding. But, that's going to be out there, and, people exist. What's important here is it sounds like she cares about how he views other women in relationship to her. She wants to feel important and be the object of his desire. Who doesn't in a relationship? These are things to communicate with your partner about. I think, it's a normal, valid thing to be irritated about. Yeah.
But you got to be careful to the level that you bring it and how you approach it as well, because I get a feeling she was pretty angry and maybe even aggressive in the way she approached him when she brought it up.
Yeah.
So you don't want to make something like this a big problem in a relationship, because then it's just going to wind up to the end of the relationship, which I don't know why they broke up, but they are broken up according to the comments.
I see.
All right, leave your opinion. We want to know what you guys think. Is this a big deal? Would it bother you? If so, how much or how little? We want to talk about what you guys think.
And, if you really think about it, with social media, with these things kind of popping up, I know social media has been out there for, a decade more. Has it been 2 decades? Yeah, I think so.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. And has it?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, we had like MySpace.
Yeah, true. So I think these conversations are important because now we're talking about different things in the dating world. And so good conversations to have.
All right. Leave your opinion and share what you think. If you want to get our help personally, you can do that on my website, askcraig.net. I do email and I do Zoom calls. Coach Victoria is also available for Zoom calls.
I'm here whenever you'd like to chat.
That's it for this episode. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
And I'm Coach Victoria.
And we will talk with you soon.